and welcome to #Toe to Toe. My name is Leanne Johnson-Arneson and I am joined as always by Spencer Fearon and British light heavyweight champion Frank Buglioni. Frank, thanks for coming in.
Pleasure.
You're fighting at the O2 on July 1st. How are preparations going for that?
Yeah, they've been fantastic. I kind of had a double camp this time round, so I was preparing for June the 3rd. Unfortunately, it was postponed because of Dylan White's injury, so I took a little bit of time off and then hit the ground running. So yeah, I'm very confident.
So we'll get started with the tweets because we've got quite a lot to get through. So Thomas Lyons at @TLyons_98, moving up to light heavyweight. Frank, do you feel you'll make a statement by doing a job on Summers? Will that make you a force in the mix?
Yeah, I mean, I've since moving up to light heavyweight, I feel like I've got my endurance and my strength that I had in training at super middleweight, but once I'd made the weight, I kind of was drained. So I feel a lot stronger at light heavyweight. But in terms of being a force at the weight, I think beating Jose Burton for the British title, that definitely kind of showed. In a fight of the year, you do realise that was one of the fights of the year. That was. Yeah, it was a great fight, and I think that showed my potential at this weight, being British champion now, signing with Sky and Matchroom. The momentum is going to continue, and I'm looking forward to showing what I can do against Ricky Summers as well.
A fight that many people would like to see a rematch in against Burton as well. Is that something that you would consider maybe in the future? Yeah,
me and Spencer were talking about that off air, and he was saying you don't have to have it, but it's kind of, those are the sort of fights I like to be involved in. And
For real? But you're good looking. You know what's going to happen? Those fights, they'll all change.
Well, it's getting flatter and flatter, so I might as well just go with it. No, I mean, like I say, I come out of that fight with quite a few cuts and bruises, but within 2 weeks you're healed and you're ready to go again. And providing you live the life and you live clean, your body does heal. I think it's when you neglect your body and you go on these benders after fights, that's when the punches add up.
Paul Altai at Altai Paul, Frank, how do you think a fight with Cleverly pans out?
Well, that's interesting because that's certainly a fight I'm looking to. Nathan Cleverly come and trained with Don Charles, my trainer, for a good 6 weeks. So Don knows him inside and out. He knows his strengths, knows his weaknesses, knows me, and we're very confident about taking that fight and winning.
Spencer, do you think that should be one that Frank should take?
Nathan, he's a veteran now. He's been around for a long while, and now he's a WBA regular champion, holds that belt. I think that's a fight that would happen because it's quite easy to make. He's with Eddie Hearn as well, and Frank's with Eddie Hearn. I can see that fight happening, and it should happen before, because there's been talk. There's been talk of him maybe fighting other guys, so that's a fight that I'd like to see. I'd like to see you in there, fight for a world title. Unfortunately, you've had it a bit too early the first time, where you fought Trinidad. So this would be the right time for you.
Norman Barton at NC Barton, huge light heavyweight fight this weekend. Who wins out of Andre Ward and Sergei Kovalev? Which one would you most like to share the ring with?
I'm leaning towards Andre Ward again. I think he's a sort of the fighter that learns from every performance, and I think he's got the blueprint to beat Kovalev now. Kovalev, he might go for broke and just try and knock him out within 6 rounds and really land the heavy punches, but that might play into Andre Ward's hands. So yeah, I'm going for Andre Ward victory again. And sharing the ring, I'd love to share the ring with Andre Ward. Possibly not in a competitive fight, because he's a way off me for now, but certainly in sparring to learn from. Be an opportunity I'd relish. Maybe
a future fight further down the line.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Spencer, who do you think is going to win on Saturday?
I think it's going to be very, very similar to the first fight. A little bit more tactical on Andre Ward's side, because he knows the power. Before, it was like people talk about this kryptonite punching power of Kovalev. He's felt it, he knows. And he also knows how to evade things. And if you watch him within the middle rounds, Andre Ward was hitting him around the body, and I don't care anything that Sergei Kovalev says, those punches were hurting him.
Yeah.
And they took a toll on him in the later rounds because he wasn't prepping, he wasn't firing in the way that he was firing earlier on. So I've got Andre Ward winning comprehensively on points this time, and Andre Ward doing what I believed he was going to do in the first fight, but he didn't. I thought he was going to be a comprehensive winner in the first fight, and he wasn't. It was a very close fight. But in this fight, I see Andre Ward comprehensively out. He's a very, very clever man. He'll adapt. He knows what he has to adapt to, and I've got him winning.
Steve Parsons at Steve Parsons, due to his fight being cancelled, do you think Billy Joe Saunders should look at fighting Daniel Jacobs next?
It's a very tough fight for Billy Joe. If they do take that fight, then I think Daniel Jacobs stops him quite early. I really rate Daniel Jacobs. I thought he'd done enough to beat Golovkin.
Can I get a handshake there? Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. I'm not Golovkin hating. I'm just saying it how it is. I'm glad that you said this, Frank. Thank you very much, sir.
I thought Daniel Jacobs done enough to beat Golovkin. I'll be honest. And I think he's the man to beat at middleweight. For Billy Joe Saunders, judging by his last performance and his kind of his weight making and his conditioning, I think he needs a warm-up fight really if he can get it, and then go into a bigger fight. But if the fight happens, then I think it's Daniel Jacobs.
Spencer?
You know what? I really rate Billy Joe Saunders, and I think Billy Joe is very, very deceptive. He's better than what he looks. And obviously he must be better than how he looks because the guy's unbeaten and he's a WBO world champion. Danny Jacobs, to me, is the second best middleweight in the world. I really do rate Danny Jacobs. I think he's a superb fighter. I thought he beat Triple G when they boxed, but because he got knocked down, it was debatable how you're going to see it and how you score aggression. But I think he's a little bit above Billy Joe at this present moment, but Billy Joe can mix with these guys. So if Billy Joe can mix with these guys, he can, obviously, if you can mix with them, you can beat them. So it's a kind of even fight, but I would slightly favour Danny Jacobs only because of what he did against only what he did against Golovkin. So I've got to say, maybe slightly shading with him, but don't be surprised if Billy Joe doesn't beat him.
Paul Altai again. Spencer, who out of the UK fighters do you think could be undisputed in their divisions?
Well, Anthony Joshua's already got 2 of the noted world titles, so I would say that Anthony Joshua, for the simple fact that the other champions in Parker, who is very good, but there is limits to him. And then if you look on Deontay Wilder, and this is no disrespect to Deontay Wilder's got the neutralizing punching power because he wants to knock guys out, but we can see with him that in his Bermane Stavern fight that he can actually box. But I think that Anthony Joshua has been finely groomed and has got more experience now after going through Klitschko, being knocked down, having known like to get up from there, being tired, having to grit out and get a win. I would favour Anthony Joshua to become the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. But there are other guys. Let's not forget Carl Frampton in this, because I still rate Carl Frampton. Even though he lost against Leo Santa Cruz last time out, I still rate Carl Frampton. And it all depends, because we've got a great time, especially at super. It's a shame you can't do super middleweight anymore, because we've got some great fights at super middleweight. Yeah. Right, so any of these guys, like within James DeGale, once he heals from his shoulder, he could become an undisputed champion. George Groves could, because if them two meet, that's a two got world titles. Anything can happen. So it's a great time for boxing. So, but right now, Anthony Joshua's the guy.
Do you want to add onto that?
Yeah, I think Anthony Joshua, obviously heavyweight. I think he's going to be a very hard man to beat. George Groves, I think what he done against Chudanov.
That was excellent.
I've been in with Chudanov. I know how powerful and how strong he is. So that performance for me puts George Groves as the best super middleweight in the world.
Above James DeGale.
Yeah. I don't think James DeGale can beat George Groves because of the history they have, and I think George Groves is James DeGale's bogeyman.
Okay.
And I see them as the 2 best middleweights in the world. So if George Groves beats him, then he's got it.
Ayaz at Ayaz Sumra, Spencer Fearon, who would win, Vasil Lomachenko or Gervonta Davis?
I really do rate Gervonta Davis. I think he's an incredible talent, but you have to realise, like, there's something special in him. But I'm saying there is greatness within Vasily Lomachenko, for the simple fact that Lomachenko, to be great, you've got to do great things, and he's doing great things. You know what I mean? To beat Nicholas Waters, who I didn't think he was going to beat, and he made Nicholas Waters quit.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So what kind of sorcery was he doing in that fight to make a renowned, tough Jamaican quit? You know what I mean? He beat Gary Russell Jr., who's a fantastic featherweight champion. So, and I would strongly favour Lomachenko, but I think Gervonta Davis in time, because he's still embryonic stage for him, he's still a baby.
Very powerful. Very
powerful guy. But I'd have to I've got Lomachenko, man. That guy is something else. The Matrix, he's something else.
What do you think, Frank?
I think he's too much for Gervonta Davis right now. I really rate Lomachenko, his footwork. He makes things look effortless, and that's always a sign of someone very good that makes it look easy. The fight I'd like to see him have is against Rigondeaux. I think that'd be
That'd be an excellent fight. Rigondou's fighting on the weekend as well, so yeah, we got to look out. That's on Sky, that show, so we got to look out for that fight.
Yeah. And that's all from the tweets, but Frank, for your fans watching on July 1st, what kind of night can we expect from you?
I think it's going to be a really exciting night. Some of the prospects that are coming on. Obviously, Boatsie's making his debut. I think that's going to
be a future opponent of yours.
Yeah, possibly. I sparred Joshua Boatsie, and I was very impressed with him. Yeah. Good puncher, very nice and correct with all his shots. So he's certainly one that I'll be hoping to get him for more sparring, and keeping an eye on his progress. But for me, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to show the improvements I've made and show that I'm a force at light heavyweight, and it's more of a kind of a statement to make to the other light heavyweights in the division.
Okay, my thanks to Frank and Spencer. Join us next week for more #toe-to-toe.
Enjoy Sky Sports Live on all screens, on the go, and the best bits on demand.